Okay.
So you want to start with your yarn in the slot, and you're going to go in between the vertical and horizontal pins, up to the top here, around the 2. And then you're going to go, on the first layer, you're going to go around the last 2 pins of each group of 3. All the way down. And then when you get to this point, it's going to instruct you to go in the middle of these 2 pins and then around the corner here of these 2 pins. So on the second layer, you do the same as well. You're going to do the last 2 pins all the way down.
And you've gotten pretty good at that.
I've done a few squares. Yeah, it's very addictive, for sure. Then you're going to go in the middle of these 2 pins, and in the middle, there's a lot of cues that you can kind of take, and a lot of cues that I gave myself. When you get to this point, you can see the grid, and you're going to want to go in between the lines.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're going to go around the first 2 pins on the third layer. So all the way down on the first 2 pin, around the first 2 pins. And you'll be able to tell kind of if you make a mistake if you look at the pattern of it. And then so at this point
Now you
can
take
wrap
the
the web.
wraps, yeah.
Work, and then that's the wrap. Go over a loop under the next one. And as I'm doing this, I kind of push this yarn out of the way and down. So it seems like that's my motion. So what I kind of do is go like this with my hand, my finger.
Come out in the big space.
You see how I'm doing that?
Okay.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And at the same time, I'm doing this rocking motion with this point as the fulcrum. So I like to put mine flat on the table, but some people like to hold it in their hand
So we put the number of wraps
and kind of manipulate it like that.
yards it's going to use for each square.
I find that I can just really get moving quickly if I just put it down, have it stable on the table, and then just go. Sometimes when you're pulling it through, it can all get jumbled up. So what I find I do is I kind of just almost tension it by just holding right there as it goes through straight. So recommend starting with something like this because it's a wool, it'll stretch and it'll be easy to kind of learn on. The scarf allows you to do a lot of squares at once, and so you get used to making squares. Then you can also go to crocheting it together and leaving a little bit of space in between the squares so that it gives it a nice design element as well. And so when you put them together, you're able to felt it, and it kind of makes all of the mistakes disappear. So this is another good thing to start out with as well. The handles and the closure is from Jewel, which is right around the corner here. And this one was done on an Inca loom, but you could probably do it on a regular loom, and then just catching the ends in as it went along. So it's kind of a fun boa. But he just overlapped it so that it kind of gets that pixie effect.
So you're saying that you can mix 5 yarns with it?
Definitely, and you can be creative with it as well. I mean, you can mix bulky and lace weight, or you can mix sport and worsted.